Okay, good afternoon everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you today? Hopefully all of you are in a good condition, all is well. Okay, we will continue our topic last week. So last week we were discussing about the state and constitution. For today's meeting, we will continue about that topic. We will continue to discuss about that topic, but I will be focusing on the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia. What is the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia? As I said before, the Constitution of the Republic of Indonesia is the 1945 Constitution. After the Reform era or the Reformation, 1998, this Constitution was amended 4 times between 1999 to 2002. The amendments of the 1945 Constitution occurred in the annual session or sidang tahunan and the General Assembly or sidang umum of People's Consultative Assembly or MPR. The contents of the 1945 Constitution, there are 37 main articles plus 4 articles of transitional rules and 2 additional articles of regulations. All of the articles of the 1945 Constitution are the elaboration of the preamble of the 1945 Constitution, in which there is the Pancasila formula in the 4th paragraph. Because of that, the preamble of the 1945 Constitution cannot be amended or cannot be changed because there is a Pancasila formula in the 4th paragraph. So there are 3 parts of the 1945 Constitution. First is the articles that concern about the regulation of state government system. For example, like how is the position of the president as the executive board? What is the power? How is the power of the president? How is the power of the legislative board or DPR and MPR? And also the interrelation between state institution. What is the relation between president and DPR and the MA and so on. Number 2, also the articles about the relations between the state and the citizen. So what is the conception of the state in various aspects of political life, economy, socio-culture, defense, and the direction of the national ideals of the state and Indonesian nation. The last one is other matters such as the flag, language, national symbols, national anthems, and the amendments of the 1945 Constitution. So before the Reformation era, which also amending the 1945 Constitution, there are New Order era. So during that era, the Republic of Indonesia, also based on the genuine or the real 1945 Constitution before the amendment. So what are the conditions under that Constitution? First, the Indonesian state or the state of Indonesia based on the law, not just based on power but also based on the law. Second, constitutional system based on the 1945 Constitution and the laws and the regulations under it. Number 3, the highest state power rests in the hands of the People Consultative Assembly or MPR. So at that time, the highest state powers not rest in the Constitution but in the hands of People Consultative Assembly as the legislative board. Okay, there are several duties and powers of MPR. First is to enact the constitution, and second is to determine the outline of state direction or GBHN. Number three is to elect and to appoint the president and vice president of the Republic of Indonesia. So it's different with Indonesian government today. Yeah. At the time, president and vice president were elected by MPR, not directly by the people like the Reformation era. Number four is the last duties and powers of MPR are to amend the constitution. Okay, we continue about the condition of Indonesian state or the state of Indonesia under the 1945 constitution before the amendments. Number four, the president is the highest state government administrator under MPR. And president is the mandate of MPR. So, president responsible directly to MPR. But the president is not accountable to DPR or House of Representatives. DPR can cooperate with president, but president also must obtain the approval of DPR for state expenditure budget or APBN, and DPR cannot overthrow president. Next, number 6, the state minister is the assistant of the president and not accountable to DPR but directly responsible to president. The power of the head of the state or president is not unlimited. President have to pay attention seriously to DPR voices, and DPR cannot be dissolved by president. All DPR members are also members of MPR, and MPR can hold special assembly or sidang istimewa to hold the president accountable if the president violates the state guidelines and the 1945 constitution. Number 8, or the last one, the highest state institution is MPR or legislative, while the top state institutions are president, the Supreme Advisory Council or BPA, the Supreme Audit Agency or BPK, and the Supreme Court or MR or Mahkamah Agung. Okay, you can see in the slide number 10, yeah, there are illustrative about the Republic of Indonesia state structure under the 1945 Constitution. The highest place is MPR. Below MPR there are MA, DPA, President, DPR, and BPK. Okay. In the Reformation era, yeah, there are several aspirations from the people. The people at the time willing to amend the 1945 Constitution. Actually, during the New Order regime era, there are several MPR decrees that related to amendments of the 1945 Constitution. First is MPR Decree number 1, 1983. It stated that MPR was determined to defend the 1945 Constitution and do not have intention to make amendments to it. So there is no intention at all at the time to amend the 1945 Constitution. Number 2, MPR Decree number 4, 1983, concerning about the referendum. It stated that if MPR willing to change the 1945 Constitution, it must firstly ask the people's opinion through referendum. So it is also implemented into the law number 5, 1985. This is the implementation of MPR Decree number 8, number 4, 1983, about the referendum to amend the 1945 Constitution. The referendum mechanism. But in the Reformation era, this referendum never be held. Yeah? So there are none. There are never in this Reformation era, Indonesian government held the referendum to amend the 1945 Constitution. So there are several aims of amending the 1945 Constitution. First is to improve basic rules such as state order, and second is people sovereignty, human rights, distribution of powers, and the existence of democratic state and rule of law. But also in the Reformation era, all of the state leaders, Indonesian state leader, also agree that the amendment of 1945 Constitution will never include the preamble of the 1945 Constitution. So the preamble of the 1945 Constitution will never be changed. So it also maintaining the unitary state structure, or better known as the NKRI or NKRI, and also reinforcing the autonomous presidential system of government. Okay, there are several results of the amendments of the 1945 Constitution. First is sovereignty rests in the hands of the people and implemented according to the Constitution. It states in Article 1, Paragraph 2, the 1945 Constitution Amendment. Number 2, the People's Consultative Assembly, or MPR, consists of members of House of Representatives, or BPR, and the Regional Representative Council, or DPD. So after the third, I'm not really sure, but you can have a check later. After the third or the fourth amendment, there are new board in the Legislative Board of the Republic of Indonesia, which is called DPD, or Dewan Perwakilan Daerah, or Regional Representative Council. DPR and DPD are also elected. Their members are also elected through general elections and further regulated by law, Article 2, Paragraph 1. Number 3, the People's Consultative Assembly, or MPR, has the authority to amend or stipulate the law, Article 3, Paragraph 1. Number 4, the People's Consultative Assembly, or MPR, inaugurates the president and vice president after got elected through the direct general election. Number 5, the president and vice president are elected as pair directly by the people, so not elected and appointed by MPR like the New Order regime. But in the Reformation era, after the amendments, president and vice president, also the member of legislative board, they are elected directly by the people through general election. So you can see at slide number 14, there are illustration of Indonesian state structure, or state structure of Republic of Indonesia after the amendments. So the highest place, is the 1945 Constitution. Below the 1945 Constitution, there are BPK, MPR, President, MK, MA, and KY or KY. And you can see also in slide number 5, the complete illustration of state structure of Republic of Indonesia. Okay, if you have any question, you can deliver it directly during Zoom meeting. Okay, thank you for your kind attention. Yeah. Okay, until next week. Good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.